Welcome back to Ride JBI. This is JB. Today we finished a shock revalve on this 2019 KTM 450XCF WP linkage shock. This is the second gen of the WP linkage shock. The first generation came out in 2011 and went all the way until 2015. And then in 2016, this style of shock came out. It was pretty much an all-new design, reduced a lot of weight. The main piston was redesigned, the free piston was redesigned, the clevis, pretty much just the entire shock overall. It was all very good updates on WP's part in terms of improving the shock dampers design. So at Ride JBI, we did our JBI suspension Flowy single jack revalve on this WP linkage shock. Our JBI suspension Flowy single track spec is one of our off-road settings. It is for riders that are typically riding second and third gear speeds. They have good rolling momentum as they're riding, so as they hit obstacles on the trail, they have good rolling speed as they come across the obstacle. You do occasionally shift down to maybe first gear for some tight sections, and occasionally shift up to third and fourth gear for some faster sections. But again, as the setting sounds, Flowy single track is mostly what this type of riding this shock is set up for. The stock suspension on this 2019 WP 450XCF is actually pretty good. But there's definitely area to be improved. On the rear shock, we feel that our JBI suspension settings that we have tested, tuned, and developed over many years outperform the stock settings in every way overall. What I mean by that is the shock feels smoother and more comfortable on the small bumps while having better hold up and bottoming resistance for the big impacts. This shock is being paired with our JBI suspension Pro Fork kit that goes inside of the forks. That is our upgrade kit that we perform on the WP AER 48 air forks. That improves the forks very noticeably, improved over the stock settings, but we'll make another video on that. You can also find that information at ridejbi.com. That has all information on JBI suspension products and services. Up top we have some fork tubes that will be our in-house JBI suspension KYB SSS drop-in cartridges for the KTM bikes. These are going to be our R&D forks, so we can continue our testing, tuning, and development of suspension settings. But we have a separate video series on that. Anyhow, so here's a shock that we got rebuilt and revalved for today. Excited for the customer, because I know from experience how much better these stock settings, or these JBI settings, are compared to the stock. So he is in for quite a welcoming surprise next time he goes and rides. All JBI suspension services and parts can be found at ridejbi.com.